I haven't seen a team in the last 10 to 15 years be as bad as they are defensively and win a championship. That's just facts.
What's poppin'? Welcome to another edition of Real or Fake. I'm Logan Murdock. That's Raja Bell. We are talking the Brooklyn Nets. Raja, what's their biggest strength?
Their biggest strength is their big three, and it's offensive in versatility. They've got guys on any given night that can drop a 50 ball on you. They could come in with 2 30s and a 20. They just have weaponry, man. They have three of the most gifted offensive players in the league right now. They all seem to play well together. You throw Joe Harris in the mix, shooting 47% or something like that, ridiculous from three. Offense and their offensive versatility is their strength.
I had star power offensively, and we're pretty much on the same page with this. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden. There were some questions if they could coexist, right? They're both high volume guys. They're both need the basketball. And your guy, Steve Nash, really figured it out offensively and has done a great job coaching this team offensively. Now, I think this is a great segue to, we already know what they're going to do, but this is a great segue into their biggest weakness, which is their defense, but particularly their front court defense. I mean, on paper, it would seem like DeAndre Jordan is a very solid defender. We saw what he did in L.A. L.A. Clippers, DeAndre Jordan is no longer here. Now, he plays well, he gets his blocks, he does his thing. But the question is if he can be an effective postseason defender when he's guarding the likes of a Joel Embiid. Can he shut down a Giannis? History suggests that's not the case this season. Giannis went for damn near a 50 ball late this regular season against the Nets. A lot of that was on DJ. Now, the front court defense, that's going to be tough, and that's why the Sixers are a threat to them. What is your biggest weakness?
Defense in general, specifically, if I would probably double down on what you're saying, front court. And like I talked about, you know, with other teams, the last part of defense is cleaning that glass up and getting out in transition, being able to convert, you know, your defensive, you know, possession into some offensive maneuvering. And they don't do that great. And so, you know, they're going to have to figure out how to do it by committee. I don't know that it just falls on DeAndre. I mean, they're going to have to call on Nicholas Claxton to step up and play big minutes. They're going to have to play small. Blake's going to have to get in there and shore up rim protection and rebounding. But it's going to have to be something that they get better at. Defensively, I haven't seen a team in the last 10 to 15 years be as bad as they are defensively and win a championship. That's just facts. I'm not saying that they can't do it because they're probably on the flip side of that offensively, as good as team offensively on paper as you've seen with those three players. But they have to figure out a way to come together defensively at minimum in spurts in critical times to have a chance to win a championship this year.
Do you think that they can do that to get those stops? They have the personnel to do it, honestly. I mean, I think that, like, if you have Kevin is a really, really good defender, okay, maybe not the whole personnel to do it. They have Kevin Durant, who is a really good defender, and you don't really have, by and large, really, really good defenders on that team. So I don't know if there's defensive potential, but you only need 4 or 5 stops down the stretch to seal a win. So they can do that. They can obviously keep it close from then on and get their stops down the stretch. I think they'll be fine if they can consistently do that. That's the biggest question mark in my eyes.
No, that's it. I don't have the answer to that. We're gonna see whether or not Brooklyn can change, you know, what is conventional wisdom around what you need to be defensively to win a championship. Again, they are phenomenal offensively, but is their greatness and brilliance on the offensive end enough to outweigh how bad they are on the defensive end? Because I'm not throwing shade. This isn't a personal thing. They are statistically just really bad defensively. So that's going to be the big question. I tend to think that they'll figure it out as well, but we're going to find out.
We will find out. Now, we are here for the Raja Bell Memorial Award for most important role player. Raja, who are you bestowing this to?
For the Brooklyn Nets, it's going to be Uncle Jeff Green. You know, he's been holding them down, playing major minutes, playing a huge role. Whether those guys are healthy, the Kyrie, James Harden, Kevin Durant, or not, he's been able to step up in their absence, and he's been able to kind of, you know, shift on the fly and go back into more of a role type of player mode when they're not around. But he's going to be critical in the playoffs because he's going to have to play big. He's going to have to be another guy that's down there, you know, anchoring defense, so to speak, and he's undersized for that. He's got to be a beast on the glass. And he's going to have to supplement offensively at times. So Jeff Green's going to be my role player.
I'm going to go with one Blake Griffin.
Okay.
The reason why I'm going to go with one Blake Griffin is because he's played really well down the stretch. Especially, we're forgetting that LaMarcus Aldridge was a part of this team, right? Was a guy, a big that can play offensively. And I'm not saying that Blake Griffin has replaced his offensive output by any means, but he has been a very solid contributor, hitting 3-pointers. And it's one of those things where he's at the stage of his career where obviously he was a star in his right. He could be a Hall of Famer, I don't know, but has to transition into being a role player and strictly a role player. And he has bitten his tongue. He has accepted his role and he has bought in and he has played well in that role. Now, if he can provide another piece, provide energy, provide 3-point shooting, he doesn't need to be LA Clippers Blake Griffin by any stretch. He does not have to be that. But if he can even be like 50 to 60% of that, the Nets can reach another level. And that's why I believe Blake Griffin is the one.
Yeah, Blake, absolutely. Huge luxury to have if you're Brooklyn, provided he can come out and give you what you're asking for in the playoffs.
Now, this is the culmination of this segment, a segment we like to call Real or Fake, where we show if this team is real or fake, as suggested in the title. My verdict: Brooklyn Nets are real. They are the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. They have too much star power. Stars win games. They are the most talented team in the Eastern Conference. I think they will make it to the finals. What do you think?
Yeah, the Brooklyn Nets are real. I mean, anytime you put 3 prolific scorers together like that, great offensive minds over there on the bench, I'm going to give you a shot to be for real. Now, I will qualify it by saying they are going to have to be a better defensive team in the playoffs. But the game slows down a little bit in the playoffs organically, so maybe they got that going for them. Yes, I think they're a contender. They're for real.